TDX's long-awaited Nightmare update just released, and there is some absolutely insane content. If you want Nightmare mode gameplay, check out my livestream I have linked in the pinned comment, but otherwise, today we are talking about the towers added. There are 4 new towers, meant to be 5 with the combat medic, but that's coming at a later date. Anyways, today I'm going to be ranking every single tower in the new update, going more over concepts and usage rather than stat showcase, because without like sandbox mode or admin commands, showcasing towers is just really boring. Let's go. Starting with the cheapest, the shield tower, I have to rank it at the number 1 spot. The survivability that this thing gives is actually insane. First, the top path, I would say, is the better path, where it can give towers up to 50,000 extra shield HP every 50 seconds or so. It is shared, so if one tower decides to get one shot by something, then the rest now lay defenseless, but you can always just have backup shields next to the towers, or even micro the shield tower to constantly replenish the 50k shield, which practically makes them invincible at that point. It is just so much survivability, your towers will never die again with this thing. Second, the bottom path, I would say is worse, but it's not far behind. It gives far less shield, but the catch is that not only does it refresh a lot quicker, not only does it give AoE healing, it also grants a shield individually to each tower, and it's not shared. This does make it so that the shield tower itself can be killed quite easily, as it doesn't share the shield with itself. But the shield tower also has 2 rebuilds, which just help even more in making your defenses invincible. Prior to this update, I was more excited for the defensive towers than the offensive towers in the update, and I think I was right to think that. The shield tower is not only the cheapest, but also the most insane. Kind of scared of the attacks we're going to see in Ultra mode though, if the shield's defenses were made to be this strong. Moving on, getting more pricey now, the Behemoth. I would rank the Behemoth at the number 4 spot. Don't get me wrong at all, this is still an extremely strong tower. Very strong, and I'll get to why in just a second, but although I rank this as the worst Nightmare tower, remember, it is still very strong. It is the number 4 tower in the game. Anyways, I think that's enough disclaimers, back to it. The Behemoth's main good path, in my opinion, is the bottom path with the laser tanks. The laser tanks just have so much range, so much DPS, along with the slight splash damage that it has. It just racks up damage. It is a DPS farming beast. Look at these behemoths I had in an endless run. Look at that damage. Like 30 million total damage is absolutely insane. Now, what about the top path? The top path specializes in having 70% collision resistance and 60,000 HP, being mostly just a ram force. It's honestly not as good as the other Behemoth path due to its lack of range and worse DPS, with the collision focus not being a strong suit. Next up, the other spawner in the update, the War Machine, which I put at the number 3 spot. The stronger of the 2 paths, I would say, is most definitely the bottom path, where it can go toe to toe with bosses. It repeatedly can knock enemies, including bosses, back, dealing tons of close-up DPS and tanking many hits with its 175,000 HP, which is extremely useful. The top path is useful as well, don't get me wrong, but I'd say it is outclassed by the bottom path Behemoth. Unless you're on an all paths map like chapter 3, where, as you can see here, it's possible to just stack up top path war machines, I'd say its range and DPS just do not compare to the Behemoths, along with the slower spawn rate. If I had to rank the spawners, it would go like top path Behemoth, top path war machine, bottom path Behemoth, into bottom path war machine in my opinion. But now, the most expensive Nightmare tower in the update, the Refractor, which, if you have been counting, I have at the number 2 spot. The bottom path Refractor is the most insane of the 2 paths. It can just deal insane amounts of unforeseen DPS with a placement limit of 13 in solo and 20 total in quad. Each Refractor has the potential to deal over 20,000 DPS to a singular enemy. It is the most insane DPS number this game has seen, and although it technically hovers more around like 5k to 20k due to how its ramp up works, that still is just beastly numbers. Along with its extremely high range and useful laser type damage, it is just insane. The top path is good as well. I'm not downplaying it, as its total DPS number can sometimes get higher than the bottom path Refractor due to its multi-targeting. But something that severely hinders it, in my opinion, is the fact that while the Refractor's 2.5 upgrade costs over $1 million, and therefore it justifies its own price with even more damage, the 5.2 upgrade doesn't reach the same price threshold, and neither do its stats due to that, which I see as a big hindrance. Single target damage is usually just a generally stronger DPS number to have, especially when the crowd control on top path Refractor is more limited than crowd control towers like Warship or Artillery do having max hit limit. But if there is something for the top path Refractor, it's that it does ignore obstacles, which is pretty cool, so have fun using this on cow annoyance, I guess. There's not really many uses for that. So, those are the 4 new Nightmare Towers, and how I have them ranked. With all of the Nightmare Towers being in their own level of power in the game, completely dominating the competition and being like super S tier. At the bottom is Behemoth, then War Machine, Refractor, and finally the Shield Tower. If you guys found this video useful, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace out, have a good day.